Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, my name's Lynn. I am an overseas student from Vietnam who had the privilege to live and work in the UK for more than 10 years now, and I'm now working as a pharmacist, and I started using this channel to share all the learning and experience that I've got throughout my time of living and work in the UK, to my curiosity mind that helped me continuously learn and improve myself. And in this video today, I would like to share with you a topic about inflation, which is actually, I know you like, why would the pharmacist want to talk about inflation? That's a bit nonsense. But I am so passionate about this because when I started planning about obtaining my financial freedom and retiring early, I've started realizing that person coming from Vietnam, I know that since growing up, my parents always raised me to work really hard. The harder you work at school, to get a good job, to get a good career, and then you get a stable life future. But actually, when I start planning for my future, my retirement, deciding what aim I'm working toward and how much money do I need if I want to retire early, and what would my portfolio would look like, and if I would want to save to live frugally and save all that money and to 50 and or maybe earlier, then would that enough for me to cover the living costs that I can by the time I get to that age. And I realized that with inflation that's going up so high, it's like the invisible thief that eating away the money that we save. The wealth is eroded by inflation. So I wanted to educate myself further about that topic, and I have done so, and I would like to use this video to share the learning that I've got with you guys so that you are informed about it. And if you want to start planning for your future, and if you are interested in retiring early, then please stay watching, and I hope you find these videos useful. So at the moment of recording of this video, the rate of inflation in the UK had reached 9%, and I know that there's prediction that it could go as high as 11%. In history, in 1970, inflation had actually reached 15%. So what should we do? How do we equip ourselves for our future so that we can foresee that? I guess prevention is better than treatment. I think that's a term that we know about in healthcare, but we can apply that into our financial future. The more we get informed, the better we will be. And I guess linking to the topic as well today, I would have to make sure that I get the early train, because there are the rail strike, because the employees are demanding to have higher wage, because understandably the cost of living has reached so high that actually if we just follow it as the employees, the full-time employees, there's no way the amount of money that we earn is just enough for us to survive, and that we cannot save as much. And actually, even if we save and put that money in the bank, that money will get depleted. Money will not give you the buying power by the time you need it. By the time we get older and we can no longer work full-time. I am an optimist person, but I also work in healthcare, and I sell with all the conditions, all the complications that are associated. That's what I'm literally telling myself every single day, that I am 28, I can work 40 hours a week, 50 hours a week. I will not be able to do that by the time I reach 48 or 58. A reminder that I have for myself constantly to make sure that I keep learning, to make sure that I get more informed. And I guess I just want to share it so that you too can get informed and you can make a wise decision for your future and for your family too. So you might be asking, what is inflation? Inflation is defined, I guess you can find different definition online, but I think as a rule of thumb, inflation is when your money losing its value by the increasing amount of money that available in economy. And you can see that because we just went through a pandemic, and you probably if you live in the UK, or if you live in the country, other country like the US, or in other part of the world, when we all gone through lockdown and there was a reduction in productivity. People was forced to stay at home, and the government had managed to increase the amount of money to pay people even though when they are at home through the furlough scheme, and business was given the loan from the government to support them throughout those difficult times. All of a sudden there's an increasing amount of money, and that money is losing the value. If you live in the UK, during the pandemic, to respond to COVID-19, the UK government had printed 300, not printed, but I guess they have managed to create 340 billion pounds. For example, if you had £100 at the beginning of 2019, that £100 will not be able to buy us the same amount of goods and services. So if you would have, just imagine that if you would have that in your saving account, that's just 3 years different. Just imagine if you would have saved that money as your store of wealth until you are getting your retirement age. Just imagine how much it would have changed. We are facing this inflation because of the response to COVID-19 and because of the war currently happening in Ukraine, and the high price you probably see it's associated with fuel and all of the shortages in the supply chain around the world due to the wars, and due to a certain part of the world are still responding to zero COVID policy and they still have lockdown. So there will be a reducing amount of goods and services that are available, and there's an increasing amount of money that's available in the economy, and that's why the inflation at the moment, at the time of recording, is reaching 9%, and I think there's prediction that it could go up to 11 and 15%. The third preparation that I guess for you guys would be looking at the budget that you have. How much money do you save? And I guess if you have watched my previous video about all the money lesson from the rich man in Babylon, and you have started paying yourself first, paying towards your future before anything else, then you, instead of putting that money in the cash ISA or something that you consider safe because you're paying into the bank, to receive 1% interest rate from the bank, and actually inflation is already at 9%, your money is already losing 8% of value, and that's for us for not doing anything for something that we consider is safe, and actually it's not safe. So things wisely, I guess it's come down to what the purpose of this saving. Are you saving toward your future, and that money is something that you don't think that you're going to need for the next 5 to 10 years, then you should really learn to invest it. And I guess as a beginner, invest your money in an index fund will be a useful option, because that's a passive investment and you don't have to do much research about it. There's a lot of platform that's available and straightforward for us to apply and just send out a small amount of money every single month. But if you think that the saving that you have is for you to buy your first house, then I guess we shouldn't really invest it on stock markets because you might need it. And the second preparation will be, if you haven't done so, then we should have pay all our debt. We're talking about debt that actually there's good debt and bad debt. If you have bought a house, then you've got a house, then your mortgage is not really bad debt because the interest rate of it is really low. Linking the topic that we had today in terms of inflation, because the value of money is losing, so the money that you pay for your house will kind of, it's the same, it get eroded with inflation. The other preparation that I have for you guys, reflecting on my own experience when I have an appraisal and we're working toward our pay rise, and I remember celebrating my 3% pay rise and thinking that I've moved on to band 7, or like I get the pay rise every single year and I should treat myself, and I have that lifestyle inflation getting on to me, thinking that actually I managed to get this pay rise. Doesn't know that actually if you think about it, again applying the principle for inflation as well, so we managed to get 3% pay rise, but inflation is already at 9%. So if you do the maths, your salary is actually eroded. There isn't any pay rise at all, and with the fuel cost and with the cost of living, with actually how expensive it is to to pay, for example, having lunch at work. It's all add up every single day, and actually we not really get any pay rise at all. You might have a heftier paycheck, it might look good on your pay slip, but actually at the end of the month I don't think I've had much money left. The final preparation that I have for you guys, and I think is probably the most important preparation that you have, is to invest in yourself, to educate yourself, to be more financial literate, because otherwise our blind spot that we have, just because that we are a genuine, we work hard, we are enthusiastic at work, and we devote so much our time and energy to work hard, and then we end up having no time left at the end to educate ourselves, to be more informed into all these topics in terms of inflation and how it will erode our wealth, and it would keep us into that paycheck to paycheck lifestyle and taking away our freedom. So the only way to do that, the only way to get out of this, is to learn to teach yourself. And actually we are living in a time where all of this information are available online. Since started learning about the economy, started learning about personal finance, it had helped me to look at the bigger picture, to look at the cause and effects of everything that associated with us could impact into our life. Unfortunately, no one will be able to do it for us. Unfortunately, you have to be in charge of your own future. You have to do your own research and make a better decision. I urge you to start doing so. The earlier you make a start, the better. You will have the power, the longer time you have for your compound to take place. That's it, that's all from me today. Just a video that I was so fascinated when I started learning about the topic, and I couldn't wait to share it with you guys in this channel so that you could be more informed and you can make your own research to make a better decision for your future. So I hope you find it useful. If you have learned even just one lesson from my video, why not like and subscribe to my channel? If you have learn something useful from it as well, share it to your friends and family so that they also can make a better decision for their future too. It's a commitment that I have for myself to keep learning, and the more I learn, the more I can share it here on my channel, so that if you are in the same journey as me, and if you want to be more equipped, if you want to be more financial literate, and we can all fast track our financial freedom journey. Thank you very much for listening, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.